Hey people, I got y'all some good stuff here. We're going to hit this Apollyon. I'm going to show you how Apollyon is a destroyer. And they say that it's in the Greek Bible, it's the Greek word for the destroyer. And they say Abaddon is in the Hebrew, and you can see here Avdun. And so, anything starts with A reads backwards in there, so that's not it. But I'm going to show you that it's Apollyon. It comes up many, many times, and they'll always give a couple words beside it, the meaning destroyer, because they don't want you to know how to read Apollyon. So when I started this 4 or 5 years ago, I studied all these letter meaning charts. I studied every one of them, because they'll contradict, and study them all. And this is a good one to start with, to give you an idea of how the letters have evolved through the different alphabets. But I see a couple problems in here. But study them all, and know that this was the ancient letter N, and so water is in M. This is water, and it means fluid. And as an N, it would mean cycles, like the waves, like tides, like waves coming in, like a fish swims, cycles. And this is some of the main letters that you see in the Hebrew Bible is the N and the Vav. And the Vav means connect, and the N means cycle. And so a cycle connects is new, is in a new year, and Vav is W or U or V. And a lot of these charts they'll contradict. And when is WN, when you connect the cycle, is when. But yeah, I've spent a lot of time studying all the letter meaning charts, and especially the ones that had many old alphabets. And I studied all the picture meanings. I started with the alphabets where they only had 10 letters in the beginning is where I started, and kind of just forgot everything that I knew, and got to thinking about if I was a caveman and came out of the cave, what would I be writing about? And the most important thing was the X is plants, and that's the one that they try to hide the most. But this is the Tazadi, and they say this is a man laying down, digging a hole with a stick to plant. And it's the letter X. And it's a TZ or an X or a TS. Study them all, and you'll see that some contradict. And this is the E, mainly the E, but it's a he, H-E. But it's our letter E, and it looks really close to this letter H, and this is H, or sometimes CH. And CH is sometimes pronounced Ka, and sometimes it's Cha. And the Vav here, say V or W, but it's also a U. And the Bet here is a V, B or a V. And this is I, and is the O, and it used to be shaped like a I. And it means to see. It's a I, and it's where letter O come from. That's why there's two of them in the word look. And this final, what they call a M, when it's on the end, it's pronounced as a S. And so after much study, this is the one I use mostly. And not everything is correct on it either. But, the B means in, and the E means the, and the Vav means connected or and. And when you see it in Greek, it'll be ki, and you can replace it with a Vav, and it means connected and or W or U. And the Ka is a picture of an open hand. And so I'll say give most of the time. That's what it means, is open hand giving, to give. And the L is of, M is from, and you see the O in front, the I, and it means to see. The T is the mark, and it used to look like the our X today. When you make your mark, you would sign an X if you couldn't read and write, but that was actually the T. The X used to sit up like our T, so they kind of switched them over. It seems like they changed everything because they didn't want people to know, and they're still trying to hide this. But I'm fixing to read you some stuff that'll blow your mind here. So this is of Apollyon, L-P-O-L-Y-A-W-N, for the workers of iniquity. And you always see they'll put disaster and destruction. It only comes up around that. And you see every time it comes up, it's always, the on always follows it. On, these three ways. It'll come up without the L in front too, the Apollyon, and you see every time it's always followed by the on, A-W-N, Apollyon. And when you look up these verses, there'll always be a word close to it that will give the meaning destruction. With the Apollyon every time, Apollyon, Apollyon, Poly, P-O-L-Y-A-W-N, Apollyon, every one of them. And so at some time it actually does say Apollyon. When you see this tack in front of it, this KL and this tack means to read this word backwards, so that's I-L, the call, ill, Apolly, on. And so the on, actually, that's from people that didn't understand how to read this. They didn't understand the punctuation. So if you Google Hebrew punctuation and read on down, they'll tell you that they don't understand how to read the Hebrew punctuation. But I figured it out real quick when I started reading this. I knew there was a reason for it. So this is actually a story about a pimp and his new young hoe. And they don't want you to know that that's in the Bible, so they twist this, and many other things are in here. And so they twist it up, and you can see it right here, half. U-M-E, to me. And then this is a passif. And they say they don't know what it means. They'll give you a bunch of ideas, but none of them match up with the writings. It means read this backwards, to me. And then E-M is them. E is T-H-E-M. And so me and them is the same word, depending on which direction you're reading it. To me or them too. Half, H-L-Q is half. H is divide. L is of. And Q means the center, to come after. But it was Q was a worldwide letter in the worldwide language. And it meant the fifth direction, and your fifth direction is center, inside, center. And to me, them to half. He's wanting half the money. So this is called Job's Final Appeal. And it's Brit, B-R-I-T, in writ, in the writings, in the covenant, in the writ. And to give to give right. In writ, give right, laying, L-O-I, and of seeing, I-N-I-ing. Anything with the N-I on the end, just the N-I is ing. You know, the cycle make. When you make a cycle, you know, when you do something and you keep doing it, you cycle it, you're ing. Your pedal, ing. You're running. A ring is a cycle that continues, you know, ing, N-I, cycle make. But in the writ, give right, laying. To men knew but to. U-M-E, to M-E-N, double N. This is a final N, looks a little different. To men knew but to all the tool and loot, backwards and forwards, or the loot and tool, ELUTBNTULE, the loot and tool, the money and tool, and they'll often give this the meaning virgin, betul. In writ, give right of laying to men new but to all the loot and tool. To me, them to have, and then backwards, the willum from all, when holt the shady memorum is, from morum is, when holt the shady from morum is, when you ain't up to par, when you're kind of crooked, you're shady. When helped the shady from morum is, when old shady's holding the money, morum is, he getting more of it. And here's one for you, destruction. Whoever guessed that the word AID would mean destruction? Hey, we need to send them some foreign aid. That's what destruction's all about. Send them some foreign aid and get them a writ to go with that foreign aid. That's how you destroy a country. Never accept foreign aid. But it actually reads backwards and forwards after this text. So it's ELADY, the lady aid. Low of owl, LOWL, the lady aid of owl. Owl is the old wicked owls of the Sumerian gods. And you see it on all your ancient money, and on your money, it's on your money today. It was on all these old drachmas. And you see over here, over his left shoulder, there's a moon and some leaves. And so even your coin collectors, they don't even know what this means. But this is even an older language. And if you study all those letter charts, you might find this. But this is a D. And this is a R, a little dot in this O. This is the R, Ra, the sun god. Means the sun, the DRH. And this is where your word horde come from, HRD. The horde, drachma. The drachmas, this they try to say that's the drachma. And that's where your word horde come from. If you look up in the corner of your dollar bill, you'll see this owl in there. And it talks about why here. If we backtrack far enough, we'll see it. But the lady aid of owl, encore, UNKR, your wanker, encore, of poly. Poly is many. The encore of many, and then this starts with the A, so it reads backwards, and it's NUA. Of many new. The encore of many new. You're going to get a happy ending of many new. The lady aid of owl, of old and wise. The encore of poly new, not Apollyon, but that's the workers of iniquity, of many new. And so of spells several different ways, and if you look at your definition of, you'll see that the definitions are, it could be spelled with a B, or V as an N, to connect in, something connect in, it's of it. And it can be spelled with an AV, of. The knowledge connected is of something. And so it's the low. The low is an ancient word. It does not mean thou shalt not. It means low. It means to know, the knowledge. Give me the down low on that. What's the low on that girl? Give me some information on her. The bind knowledge. The low of who? Yar, the darky. Yar. Yar means speed and agility, set for action, ready, maneuverable. nimble, lively. The low, the down low, the knowledge of who. The knowledge of who y'are, the darky. To Cledo, K-L and backwards and forwards, I-D-O. Cledo is the ancient word for shoulder. To Cledo means to shoulder. Cledo, the jug, bring it to your shoulder. And the darky, the yar, the quick and nimble, darky to Cledo, to shoulder. And then X is TS or TZ. And TS is ancient English word for it is. The Cledo, it is. The Cledo, it's sody. Sody is given the meaning my secret. Sody, my secret. So it'll have another meaning. You have to search, but there's something else about that secret, and sometimes you can find it in the names. A superoxide, a soda, a baking soda, is a base. The low of who y'are, darky to Cledo, to shoulder, its secret is pure. AM is backwards, M-A, from knowledge. From knowledge it Cle, I-T-K-L-E, and it attach, Cle, something is to attach it. From the knowledge it Cle, look at tie, L-K-T-I. From knowledge it Cle, look at tie, as of shew what has, all the marmor me, regularly. And so from the knowledge it look, it Cle, it attach the look at tie, as of shew. When a girl walks in a bar, the men are looking at tits and ass. But when a man walks in the bar, the girls are looking at his shoe to see if he's worth the time. So they watch your shoes. And they watching the shoes to say, hey, no, don't mess with him. He ain't got no money. His shoe what has, W-T-H-S, what has. All, O-L is all, like A-L-L, of all. The marmor, the backwards and forwards, the M-R, the marm. A marm is a school teacher. The marmor, me. The teacher, me. Regally. And they try to say this, anything with R-G-L is foot. But it's regally, is royal, the regals. The marmor, me, regally. All the teaching me regal. You teach the hoe how to watch the shoes. Don't waste your time with somebody with some old wore out tennis shoes. So they get this weight from this SQL. They say this is shekel, and those call it money or weight, anything like that. But it's the F. Q is a PH. Is shuffling, L-N-I, cycle make, is shuffling. Is shuffling and amazing, the Fed side if, who do the will it mighty. The XDQ is often in judge or judgment, and it's the side if, who's going to do the deciding. The side if, the one who does the deciding is the side if. And shuffling and amazing, the Fed's backwards, FD, the Fed side if. The law's making a decision, who do the will it mighty. And then the W-Y is ancient English word, why, and it means who or how. How do, the Fed's duff. How do the will it mighty. The W-L-A, the will T, it mighty. From at, M-A-T, and then this tet is T-H-E, from at So you can spell V several different ways. All these words can be spelled many different ways. And from at the iris, I-R-S, from at the iris, many, the direct, the D-R-K. And so this could be dark or direct depending on where it's at. And that's where they get the way, the direct. From at the iris, many, the direct watcher seeing, the locale by, of copied, of come a use. And so of copied, and then the B could, or the V, it doesn't have the dot in it, so you could read it as a V, of copied of, or in, like I say, the of in the in is saying of copied in come a use. From at the iris, many, the direct, the watcher seeing, the locale by, of copied, of come a use. When you're fishing in a good spot and people see you catching fish, them boats will roll right up to you. You could be on a pier catching a fish, and them boats can go anywhere. They're going to roll right up to your spot where you're catching them fish. Moves, M-A-V-S. And so you see how that's any spot to moves. It starts with A, it reads backwards. The whores, H-O-R-Z-A, E-O-R-Z-A. The whores a watcher. W-A-Chet, C-H-R, the watcher. Whore's a watcher, jackal. And then this X, is a T-S. And so it's W-T-S-A-T-S-A-Y. What's at say? W-T-S-A-T-S-A-Y. The jackal, what's at say, is her shoe. Shoe. Get on out of here. Is her shoe. What's it say is her shoe? The whore is a watcher, jackal. The jackal is the wild dogs that come and try to take your kill. The whore is a watcher, jackal. What's that say is her shoe? But it's from powers, from knowledge, and backwards and forwards. The top in petal by, E-T-P-N-P-T-E-L-B-Y. The top in petal by all the sass and all hot path, H-T-P-T-H, and all hot path to her door. Roy is the ancient word for king. Roy. They'll say, most of the time they'll say Roy is the shepherd. Sometimes the king of the shepherds. But Roy. The Roy it ver. Backwards starts with A and backwards it ver. V-R-E. Veer. The king it ver. Means you're going to make a quick turn toward. So you can see it has been enticed is from the top and peddled by all the sass. She sassed them with them tits hanging out the top. And all hot path and all, the path to her door is warm. It's used a lot. The Roy, where royal come from. The Roy come from the royal family. The royal it veer. And yes, my harvest let be rooted out. What's that say is her shoe. Get on out of here. To root on out. My harvest. Jackals, get on out of here. And then let me sow is the whores. So I'm going to stop here and I'm going to go backwards to where I was, how I found this. And it's strange because I was looking for other words that I found around the Apollyon, and the words kept bringing me back to Apollyon. But the cods is the fake, and I'm gonna put this in a folder called Apollyon 1, 2, 3, and however many. I don't know how far I'll go, but this was a good one here in Jose 6, 7. To them the cods over of writ. Cods means the joker, the joke. To them the cods over of writ, the joke over of in the writings of the covenant. She's bag Dubai. Bag means garden, and Dubai is the Garden of Dubai. And there's ancient writings 7,000 years old about the Garden of Dubai. And I'll get to it in the next movie. Alright, good day.